They say there's a star in the sky for every fool in the galaxy. Well, two of those stars must be for Han and Chewie. I'll never forget the time those two liberated an entire planet from the armies of the Trandoshan slavers. Hey, and I thought I was a gambler. It all began with a call for help. The Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk was being overrun and its cities demolished. The proud warrior race swallowed its pride and called their closest rebel connection, Chewbacca. Unable to convince the Alliance to send a strike force, Han and Chewie traveled alone to the forest world, unsure of what they might find. After seeing the kind of devastation the slavers had inflicted on Kepatanochen, Han and Chewie were more determined than ever to help out, even if it meant all-out war. Even the settlement's lone survivor, Chewbacca, was willing to lend a hand. Usually my buddy Han isn't a guy to jump into hopeless crusades, but I think he's going soft lately. No sooner had they met with Chewbacca, Han was agreeing to help them rebuild their government tree and contact the Republic. All this despite the very high probability of Imperial involvement. Come to think of it, he's either going soft or he's getting crazier. Maybe both. The government tree had been built and defended. I wouldn't have believed it, but then again, I've never seen anything a Wookiee couldn't build or fix, given enough grease and transmission wire. But, as with most of Han's plans, the scheme to contact the Republic didn't go quite as smoothly as it should have. The Imperial communications jammers were working overtime to keep any signal to the rebellion completely scrambled. It was too dangerous to try and break the Imperial blockade with the Falcon, so Han hit on the brilliant plan of taking out the jammers himself. That's the kind of careful strategizing that's going to get my good buddy blasted into space dust someday. The traitorous Chewbacca escaped into the wilderness, and the Wookiee resistance narrowly escaped capture in their transports. They had all been dealt quite a blow by the betrayal at Okikuti, and Chewie wanted revenge badly. One thing I know for sure, never make a Wookiee angry. The transport sailed toward Chennachinochen, but the situation looked bad. Han and Chewie didn't even know if the city would still be there. But they had no choice. They needed to destroy the jammers to send a signal for Alliance help. It was their only hope. With the jammers destroyed, they were finally able to send a message to the Alliance. Personally, I would have figured the mission was done, problem solved. But Chewie's tenacious. He was determined to free every last Wookiee slave. Between Shoran and Chewie, the plan was obvious. The Imperial Moff must be ousted for Kashyyyk to be truly free. The Trandoshan slavers would never get another foothold under a strong Wookiee government, and that meant completely destroying a heavily guarded Imperial fortress. A small band of resistance fighters against the might of the Empire. I'm not sure even Han Solo had bargained for those kind of odds. Chewbacca betrayed his own people and paid with his life. But revenge was bittersweet for Kashyyyk. The Imperial Moff and the slaver Peck had escaped on a transport with a cargo hold full of Wookiee slaves. Han and Chewie knew if they couldn't manage a rescue, the slaves were doomed to work the spice mines, or worse. I forgot to mention a little something about this story. See, I happened to be monitoring the Alliance-coded frequencies, and I picked up my buddy's distress call. After alerting Luke Skywalker and Rogue Squadron, I flew to Kashyyyk, only to find the Falcon left abandoned in a forest clearing. I couldn't bear to see my baby like that, so what did I do? I hopped in, and we blasted off to the Avatar orbital platform, praying we weren't too late to help. I'd like to make a note here about Wookiee celebrations. A Wookiee throws a great party, but when it comes time for him to hug you, run for your life. I'm sure I broke a rib. At any rate, Kashyyyk was free after a long nightmare under the Empire and the Trandoshan slavers. Chewie received a hero's welcome, and I caught Han smiling proudly at him. I even found myself grudgingly returning the Falcon to the old pirate. I don't know what came over me. Wookiees sometimes have that effect on people. Before evacuating the planet, the Imperial Governor of Kessel ordered the air processing factories to be shut down, leaving the prisoners without any air to breathe. Since the rebel fleet wouldn't be able to get there in time, Han, Chewie, Luke, and I sped off to Kessel in the Falcon. If we didn't get those air factories working soon, there'd be nobody left on Kessel for the Alliance to liberate. The Kessel mission was an overwhelming success. Congratulations.